do this however you want to. Just like...
So what? Spaced out cowboy.
I may use that. In fact, I will. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
How are you?
Hello, everybody. Thursday night, which means some lucky dipping.
I had a haircut since the last show. Can you tell?
It's looking very dapper.
Don't be fooled by the fact that I'm wearing the same clothes. I am like Batman.
We should change
Yeah.
between videos.
Should make it look like we record these things on the night. They're live.
Yeah, well, that is something we are planning. I'm planning anyway.
You have not, the first time hearing
I've
of it.
mentioned it once or twice, but I want to do some
I wasn't paying attention.
midweek live stuff.
Where people can call in.
Um,
Hello, caller.
With much more of a rotation going, get some people different.
Oh, so you just don't want me in it?
No, you can be here.
Oh, will I be in some that you won't be in some? Is that the kind of rotation, or you're the constant?
We can fit 3 people at this desk, my friend.
Oh, I see.
I don't even want to do it at this desk. I want to sort of have a different setup and just do casual conversations that are not scripted, that are not
in the lounge room. Gonna move to the lounge room.
Could do that.
Or we could be like Fred, what's his name, and do it at a cafe, and we could wear funny hats.
Yeah, we could do it at a brewery, like the front
Yeah.
bar.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of things we could do. But I do want to do a live stream of some sort, whether it's a live podcast, a live video. Just all depends on time restraints and tech issues and whether I can get my shit together.
Yeah, so not happening.
Lucky dip.
Lucky dip.
I'm going to go first. I haven't added to this since last time.
Oh, okay.
Do you know the benefit of doing these on Zoom for the last couple of weeks is you can hold that piece of paper up to the screen?
To the screen.
Yeah.
Now we just have to take your word.
What does that say?
Ripley's Game.
Ripleys Game on screen. And that is essentially the loose sequel to The Talented Mr. Ripley. With
Yes.
John Malkovich.
Malkovich.
Whatever.
Malkovich.
I like that one. That was a really good one. I liked it more than The Talented Mr. Ripley.
I haven't seen either.
I don't like The Talented Mr. Ripley very much. But there's a third one with Barry Pepper called Ripley Underground.
Jesus. Is it like the made-for-TV version?
No, I think it was directed by Roger Spottiswoode.
Right. Is
Yeah.
Barry Pepper playing Ripley, or is he playing...
He's Ripley.
Is he
but
Jude Law back from the grave?
He plays much
you eat
more
Dickie's
of a...
house. You come to Dickie's house. You eat Dickie's food.
In the third one, he plays much more of a sort of Tom Cruise from Mission Impossible type of Ripley. He's on a motorbike with fucking glasses and,
Okay.
Yeah.
He's flying out of airplanes and hanging off the airplanes as they take off.
doing it all himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Ripley's
Sorry,
Game,
mate. It's not going to make up for Battlefield Earth.
Ripley's Game is one of those ones I've only seen once. That was theatrically. And I own the DVD because I bought it as a new release, but never watched it.
Did you paid full price for it?
Fucking did, man. I did. That was a
I
Village
just was
Roadshow
never-
title.
Like I like a good con movie, but I don't know. There's something about, maybe it was Damon was too smarmy, or I didn't like Jude Law.
I don't like that first one.
There
It just does not rock my boat.
And because I didn't watch the first one, I didn't
the production and the atmosphere of it just doesn't do much for me.
I look forward to kind of watching it in about 10 years' time, going, why didn't I watch this at the time? It's
that's
actually
always
really good.
That's always good.
Ooh.
Oh, The Delinquents.
The Delinquents.
And this is famous for?
Kylie Minogue's boobies. I mean, we didn't know at the time that she was going to get them out at a drop of a hat.
Yeah. Oh, I do love this movie.
With Charlie Schlatter. Import Charlie Schlatter.
All set in Bundaberg.
Yeah, the home of the rum.
Yep.
Hey, my phone. I just got a text message.
Oh, fantastic. Live.
Should we read it out? No.
It's just telling you that your subscription
saying,
for Hustler is fucking due.
Are you still on the thing with Glenn? No. Telling me he owes me $20. He lost that bet. Kylie Minogue does get it out of the Delinquents.
Yeah, Delinquents is good. It's I'm trying to think of a comparable movie because there were plenty at the time that was set in the 1950s. What would you compare it to?
What was that one with Matt Dillon and Deborah? What was that? What was her name? It was in young talent time. Rebel or something like that. Was it called Rebel? Do you remember that one? She had a sex tape, and it wasn't a great sex
Katrina
tape.
Roundtree?
No, fucking don't get me started on
Kate Ritchie.
There was
Kate
on
Ritchie.
no, she did have a sex tape. This is way before, although I suppose it came out after. I'm sure her name was Deborah something.
Probably was. Oh no, yes, no, from Home and Away. And many more things. Deborah Byrne.
Deborah Byrne. That's right. Was it called Rebel?
I vaguely remember this one now. Because he came to Australia back when we
Rebel in '85.
We got big American actors to come and act in our films.
Yeah, they would. Is an important one. Yeah, Matt Dillon, Deborah Byrne, '85. Yeah.
Yep.
Brian Brown's in it. Bill Hunter.
I do know it.
Julie Neal from Mount Thomas once again. Blue Heelers. Blue Heelers gets referenced a lot in this show.
The fact that you just
Joy Smithers from Edamoga Pub. And she was the psycho in Neighbours.
You reminded me that Deborah Byrne made a porno, like a sex tape.
So I know people buy their sex tapes.
I do remember that. Oh, good stuff.
She goes downtown brown quite a bit in that tape. It's alarming. Like she goes for it. It's like digging for truffles.
When I edit this, I'll be reminded to look it up.
Look it up, yeah.
But what would you compare the Delinquents to other than that? Like Runaway Daughters, maybe? Or, I don't know.
American Graffiti?
Maybe.
I mean, it's like, like I guess those kind of, what's his name? The back in time stuff from Back to the Future?
Oh, yeah.
It's all in the 50s. Tomorrowland.
That's the George Clooney one.
The George Clooney one with, who's it? Brit.
Yeah.
Brit somebody or another?
The chick from The Space Between Us.
Yes.
I reckon I'm the only person on the planet that loved this movie.
Tomorrowland. The copy I watched was pretty dodgy.
I got a real kick out of it. I don't know why, but it just it did it for me. It really floated my boat.
Yeah, look, it was one of those ones that you're like, this would have been much better had Spielberg directed this in the 80s.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like there are so many ways it could be improved, but I didn't care. Like I was watching it more like it was a Wonderful World of Disney movie. You know, like I felt like A Wrinkle in Time, the original one. Like it was that kind of thing. I'm like, this is
Escape to Witch Mountain type thing. It would have. Yeah, look, I think it probably would have been a lot better without the. If you didn't know that it had like a multi-billion-dollar budget and had George Clooney and stuff in it, like if it was George Clooney back in the Roseanne days, it was just some guy.
It was preceded with a whole lot of like Hollywood gossip and
there was a lot of pressure on the movie to succeed.
Sure, but I did like it. I did like it.
This one's a small one. I don't know if I like this.
Oh
no, it's bigger.
Just tightly wrapped, my friend.
Jesus. Oh, okay.
Dennis the Menace.
Walter Matthau.
This is a good movie.
I really liked Dennis the Menace. I used to read the comic strip.
I think
and the cartoon. There was a cartoon show on ABC.
It's certainly a movie you couldn't make now as a kids movie, not with the content in there.
Because he's molesting him.
He's a predator. No, the Christopher Lloyd's a predator in it. He's very scary.
Are you not allowed to have predators in movies anymore?
Well, just not with children.
Child predators.
He's not a child
predator. They can't be fun-loving.
But I don't know.
Good-time predators.
But I think it's more kids doing dangerous things you can't have anymore.
Well, because kids may actually do them.
Yes.
And nobody wants to get sued.
Yeah, kids are stupid.
But I thought you were saying it was because Mr. Wilson was fiddling with Dennis. Like that's the read between the lines.
That was in the Don Rickles sequel.
He says, "Hello, ice cream. Having fun, running around in there."
What was his wife's name in number? Hang on, who was
Dennis? Dennis was married.
Who was Mr. Wilson's wife in the first one?
I don't know.
I do know. Joan Plowright.
Joan Plowright.
I think it was Joan Plowright.
Dennis the Menace. Was it Dennis Haysbert?
What I'm getting at is in number 2, who was Mrs. Wilson?
Joan Plowright.
Who was Mrs. Wilson in part 2?
Dennis the Menace Strikes Again. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, I think so. That's the Christmas one.
That's with funny enough, Don Rickles.
Yeah.
George Kennedy.
Yeah.
Betty White.
Betty White plays.
Still alive.
Yep.
Ned Beatty is dead. Betty White lives.
Dennis the Menace, come on.
Brian Doyle Murray and Carrot Top.
Yeah, Oh, and Paul Rubens, is he in that?
I haven't got that far.
Okay. He may or may not be.
But this would have been Carrot Top around the time of chairman of the board, so prior to getting into the weedy Carrot Top.
Yeah.
Not hulked out, weird faced Carrot Top.
It's still funny though.
I just can't believe how badly it's distorted his face.
I know.
Danny Bonaducci still looks like Danny Bonaducci.
Well, now Carrot Top looks like Danny Bonaducci.
But now Carrot Top looks like Danny Bonaducci.
But you know what? Like, now we're on the Carrot Top. Like, I still think he's a funny fucker. I watch his stuff on YouTube.
It's
and
really
it's
just
great.
his eyebrows that have gone extreme. It's like the working out has he's somehow.
But the jokes are as good as they ever were.
Yeah.
They are great.
Was it Norm Macdonald calls it? He's on. Have you seen that? There's a great clip on YouTube of Norm Macdonald he's on the couch on Conan.
Yeah.
Or Conan, and Courtney Thorne Smith is the guest, and she's there to promote chairman of the board.
That's right. I've seen.
And and like he's been given Conan shit. Norm Macdonald's been given her shit, and he's like, and the movie's called Chairman of the Board. Give shit to that if you can.
Yeah.
And he kind of throws down the challenge to Norm Macdonald. Norm Macdonald like,
He goes for it.
He goes for it. He's like, is Chairman of the Board is board BORED. It's so good. Courtney Thorne Smith is not impressed.
No, that's like the time that Russell Malkai was on Hey Hey It's Saturday to promote Razorback, and they kept putting Miss Piggy sound effects.
He would have been high as a kite, though.
Yeah, Dennis the Menace. It's good. It's fun. John Hughes wrote that one.
Right.
Yeah.
Is there a scene where Walter, Mr. Wilson, takes a belt, Dennis, to teach him to behave?
No, but it ends
Puts
with
his cigarettes out on his arm.
It ends with a shot of Mr. Wilson going.
Yeah.
Oh, there's two there. Okay, this one. Wouldn't it be funny if it was part 1 and 2 that I just pulled out?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to open it. It's like ordering a photocopy. Eight-Legged Freaks. This movie is not well regarded now.
I like it still.
I thought it was fine. It's like an
Well, it's more like one of those sort of
Empire
blob
of the Ants.
style,
Yeah.
sci-fi movies from the 50s.
They're all different kind of spiders.
Just open one like.
I'm just opening these ones like it's like fortune cookies.
Are these
like,
ones we haven't already opened, or
Yeah.
okay? We're just
like,
I'm gonna have to top
I'm
the bowl
ruining
back
them.
up.
We're not talking about these ones.
Eight-Legged Freaks is great. Do you prefer it? Actually,
I just like
recently,
anything with Kari Wurr in it.
yeah, totally. Recently on our social media, we did the "Do you prefer this or that" for Eight-Legged Freaks and Big Ass Spider. What do you prefer? And I know one is a monster title, so.
Yeah. but it's an old monster title, not one that it's in our current library.
It's a really tough one. I love them both.
I mean, look, I think. Look, I really do like Mike Mendez. He's a nice guy, and it's Claire Kramer and Kari Wurr and Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, I think so.
Probably Big Ass Spider. Like
Yeah.
Big Ass Spider has almost taken the piss out of Eight-Legged Freaks.
Yeah.
And was it Greg Grunberg or whatever his name is?
Yeah.
Is the lead.
Fat Keanu Reeves.
And Ray Wise is in it. Yeah, Fat Keanu Reeves. As J.J. Abrams' best buddy. He only gets work he's in a J.J. Abrams film.
But I think you're right. Eight-Legged Freaks has much more nostalgia attached to it. Like it's a throwback much more.
Yeah.
Those scenes where the quad bikes are jumping the hills and the spiders and the spiders look more real in Eight-Legged Freaks. Like they actually look like real spiders, which they didn't in Eight-Legged Freaks. Or did I in Big Ass Spider?
Well, there's only one in Big Ass Spider, really, isn't it?
It's a big ass spider.
It's a big ass spider. Whereas this one, there's like an army of them and stuff.
Arachnophobia on steroids.
Yeah.
David Arquette too.
Yeah, but I think there's a lot more because it was a seemingly like big budget kind of. It got a theatrical release and all that sort of stuff. There was a lot more pressure on Eight-Legged Freaks to be good.
Who directed that? And have they directed anything else? Here we go.
Yeah. I don't possess the memory to remember things like that.
It's a good time for those B movies. Bats came around at the same time.
David Arquette, that's right. David Arquette.
You just said that several times, yeah.
I'm just looking at the cast again. Dougie Doug.
Dougie Doug from That Darn Cat.
From That Darn Cat. Leon Rippey. I like Leon Rippey. Oh, wow. Matt Crucci from The Good Wife and Gilmore
Okay,
Girls.
I was going to say, you're like, oh, wow, and you can't even pronounce his name.
It's directed, I can't even pronounce the director's name. Ellery Elkayem, who has directed The Nest, They Nest from 2000.
I remember that one. That was a DTV.
Return of the Living Dead, is it Necropolis?
Yeah, okay, so he went downhill.
Without a Paddle, Nature's Calling.
Number 2.
He did Return of the Living Dead, Rave to the Grave.
Yeah, which I've got that and the other Return of the Living Dead you just mentioned on Blu-ray.
I don't have them all. I've got them all on DVD.
Yeah.
Larger Than Life from 1998.
Hang on, the Bill Murray one?
No. No, a young woman battles against a series of... So whoever's... the synopsis on IMDb, it's a short. And it has like a... But it's basically the synopsis... They put the synopsis for Eight-Legged Freaks in. A young woman battles against a series of giant spiders spawned by toxic waste in a new suburban home. That's the synopsis for Larger Than Life, but the Larger Than Life poster is you put that one up on the screen there, which is hilarious. I mean, maybe that's what it is. Maybe that was the short that they based Eight-Legged Freaks on. That's why you got the job.
Who went last? Do one more each. You go. Whoever's turn it was last. Doesn't matter.
Did you? I think you pulled out Eight-Legged Freaks, right?
Maybe.
God.
What do we got? Oh,
Baz Luhrmann's
Australia. Wow. Look, I will say I like it. I do. It's a melodrama.
I wanted to like it. I have trouble watching movies like period films starring Nicole Kidman after she got her face done.
Because it doesn't look period anymore.
How can you be in a period movie with it's not like plastic surgery on your face isn't fucking obvious.
Ordinarily, I agree wholeheartedly, but I think with Australia, it's so fanciful and
it is Baz Luhrmann.
What I liked about it, which I don't think, maybe I've talked about this on the show as well. I don't think a lot of people really took from it what I did, in that I thought it was a throwback to Chips Rafferty and the type of movies like
Sundowners,
the Outlanders, and all that kind of stuff.
Where everything's on painted matte backgrounds.
Yeah, which was very romantic, a romanticized sort of version of Australia, and I think this was trying to recreate that.
It's not Wake in Fright, that's for sure.
That's right. And I like that, though, because I love...
First time in the Yabba, that does not happen in Australia.
So all those Charles Chauvel films, I felt like it was recreating those. I love those, on their own, and I thought this was a nice way to throw back to them, so I did enjoy it. But and watching Jack Thompson get trampled to death was fucking glorious, and that's brutal too. He really gets trampled in that stampede.
It's no Quickly Down Under, I will say that.
No, tell that to the Boneheads on Bonehead Weekly. That's Joe's favourite Western.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because I'm not going
to. Firstly, the Americans take a lot more from Quickly Down Under than I think we do.
Well, look, I don't have a problem with Quickly Down Under. I was laughing because when we first talked about this in the office with Jarrett, he was like, "That's the sequel, right? To Quigley."
There is a movie called Quigley.
I was like, "No, it's Quigley.
Yeah.
Quigley Down Under is Quigley.
Yeah,
like that is the."
There's a movie called Quigley, and I looked it up recently. I don't know why. Maybe it was a TV movie that we did on our show recently, and I was looking it up, and it did say on the poster, it said not to be confused with Quigley Down Under. Well, that's interesting, but yeah. For a while there, I thought it was a sequel as well.
What always surprised me is that can happen, and that's fine, and yet when Lee Daniels wants to do The Butler, because there's some 1930s movie called The Butler, they can't call it The Butler, so they have to call it Lee Daniels The Butler.
I know.
And you're like, how can you own the name The Butler? Like, it's a fucking job.
That's right. But because I think we had The Rescuers Down Under, maybe that's what confused Jared, is that it sounds like a sequel.
Because it's like The Rescuers, and that's probably it.
Last one for the video, if you're still watching. What is it? I can't read that upside down.
Tideland.
Terry Gilliam. Tideland with Jeff Bridges. Oops.
Throw it at me.
That's possibly my favourite Terry Gilliam film.
Really?
Yeah.
Over Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas?
I don't like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Oh, really?
I do prefer Where the Buffaloes Roam.
Right. Well, I mean, yeah, okay.
But, no, Tideland is a really dark movie about Jeff Bridges plays a sort of a druggie that dies, and his daughter is left alone with his corpse in the house, and there's no one.
And they make sexy time together.
There's no one to come and help, and so
the cat then eats his face.
She spirals into a fantasy world, and throughout the whole film, the fantasy world gets darker and darker because his corpse is
rotting.
Like,
is it
rotting?
So it's not like Swiss Army Man.
No, she doesn't ride him with a fart. But it is really dank. Like, it's dank, but it's a great film.
So I thought when you said Tideland, I was thinking there's that Netflix series Tidelands with Charlotte Best, which is actually pretty good. Like it starts off strong, and then it gets a bit weird towards the end. But it is.
Can you look it up, Thailand? Because I think the girl in it is from like
Jennifer Tilly.
I think
the Wayback Machine.
The daughter in it is from something like Pan's Labyrinth or something like that, maybe.
Jodelle Ferland.
What was she in?
from Case 39. She's in Silent Hill, The Tall Man.
Silent Hill's what I'm thinking of.
She does a lot of Frankie Drake mysteries.
There you go.
Janet McTeer is in it.
Anyway, Thailand. It's a good Terry Gilliam film. It's one of his sort of. I don't know if it's easy to digest, but it's sort of his films are hard to take sometimes. I think that.
I was going to say that because the corpse. There's a girl being trapped alone with a corpse of her dead father. It's like a super easy to digest type.
Saw it at the cinemas. Felt super uncomfortable, but also felt like it was magical at the same time.
In a way that you couldn't. You had to wait 10 minutes at the end of the film to stand up. Kind of uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's like Lim Stopkowich's Kissed. Molly Parker. Had the same reaction to that one.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I understand.
Yeah.
I'm there.